I had not moved my legs in almost 3 years. Doctors saw a disabled veteran. Nurses saw another patient. My own family had stopped believing I would ever smile again. Then one new nurse leaned close, looked directly into my eyes, and quietly spoke the military call sign only 5 men on Earth had ever known. At that moment, I realized my darkest secret had finally caught up with me. I am Daniel Carter, a retired Navy SEAL who once believed no mission could defeat me. During my final deployment, an explosion destroyed my spine and left me paralyzed from the waist down. The medals stopped coming, the phone calls slowly disappeared, and even people who once called me a hero began treating me like a burden. Every morning felt exactly the same until the day a young nurse walked into my hospital room carrying a file that seemed far too thin for someone who had lived through so much. Around 20 seconds into the story, add a soft subscribe message naturally. If stories about courage, betrayal, and unexpected karma inspire you, take a second to subscribe because every story on this channel is based on unforgettable moments that deserve to be remembered. The nurse introduced herself as Emma. She smiled with confidence, but something about her eyes suggested she already knew more than the medical records could explain. Instead of asking the usual questions, she quietly closed the door and looked around to make sure nobody else was listening. Then she leaned closer and whispered one word, Ghost 7. That had been my classified call sign during a mission nobody outside our team was supposed to know existed. My heart raced faster than it had since the day I was wounded. I demanded to know how she knew that name, but Emma simply told me she had promised someone she would wait until the right moment. She reached into her pocket and handed me a sealed envelope that had been hidden for years. The handwriting belonged to my former commanding officer, a man I believed had died during our last operation. Inside was a letter explaining that our mission had never failed by accident. Someone inside our own command had sold our location for money, leading directly to the ambush that destroyed my team and my future. The letter included one final instruction. Never trust the official investigation because the real evidence had been hidden with a private investigator who had spent years secretly collecting proof. Emma explained that before my commander died, he had saved her life during a humanitarian mission overseas. She had become a nurse because of him and promised she would one day deliver this letter if I survived. At that moment, my pain was replaced by something much stronger. I needed the truth. At about 60% of the story, insert a brief like and share reminder. If this story has touched you so far, please like and share it because stories like this remind us why truth always matters. The private investigator soon arrived with documents, photographs, financial records, and witness statements that had never been presented to the military. Millions of dollars had quietly moved into offshore accounts belonging to a respected defense contractor and one senior officer. The evidence proved someone had accepted money to expose our team's classified location. I realized my injuries had never been an accident. They were the price of another man's greed. The investigation exploded across national news. Reporters camped outside military headquarters while former teammates finally came forward with their own stories. The decorated officer who had built a career on honor was publicly exposed as the mastermind behind the betrayal. His family abandoned him, his business partners disappeared, and every award he had ever received was stripped away. Karma arrived without mercy, and the truth spread faster than any lie ever had. During the investigation, I discovered another painful truth. My fiancée had secretly accepted a financial settlement years earlier in exchange for remaining silent about suspicious events surrounding my mission. She claimed she wanted a better life and believed I would never recover anyway. She disappeared before authorities questioned her, leaving behind nothing but empty promises and unanswered messages. Losing her hurt, but it also freed me from living inside someone else's deception. Months later, the government officially cleared my name and honored my entire team for their sacrifice. Emma stood beside me as I accepted the recognition that should have come years earlier. My father, who had blamed himself for encouraging me to join the military, hugged me with tears in his eyes. I finally understood that real strength is not measured by how fast someone can run into battle. It is measured by how courageously they continue living after everything has been taken away. Today I still cannot walk, but I no longer feel defeated. Every morning I remember that evil can hide for years, but the truth never stays buried forever. One quiet nurse kept a promise that changed my life, exposed betrayal, and proved that karma always arrives exactly when people believe they have escaped it. Some wounds never heal, but justice can still find its way home. They stole my future, but they could never steal my honor. In the end, One whispered call sign exposed years of lies and reminded me that even in complete darkness, the truth always knows your name. If this story moved you, subscribe for more unforgettable true-style stories, leave a comment with your thoughts, and share this video with someone who believes karma always finds the guilty.